Have you ever felt like you're not good enough at your dog training to be charging money for it? Have you ever felt like you're a failure or you're behind? A lot of people refer to this as imposter syndrome, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hi, I'm Tennille Williams, and this is The Profitable Dog Trainer. I help dog trainers to build more profitable businesses that they can stay passionate about. So I've been training dogs and their owners in several different ways, like one-on-one dog training primarily, a little bit of board and train, and group classes. And I've been doing that for over 13 years now. Imposter syndrome is the feeling of not being good enough at what you do, and it's often triggered by getting a new client that maybe isn't happy and expresses a complaint, someone leaving a bad review, or someone leaving a negative comment, or from just comparing ourselves to others, especially online. As I progressed through my own dog training career, I obviously improved my skills and got better at dog training as a craft and at dealing with people and charging more money for what I was doing. But still, it didn't matter how improved I got. Imposter syndrome would still pop up, and it still does, but not as often, and I know how to handle it now, so let's talk about it. Imposter syndrome isn't just a feeling that we can say, yeah, everyone feels that, because they do. Like if you look at speeches from really high level, say athletes or performers, artists, most of them will mention, and if they don't mention, they probably do still feel that they have felt this way at times and that they still do in the present. A lot of times overachievers, overthinkers, and high performers that are really good at what they do will feel this even more than people that don't think so much or are sort of average in their achievements. But the real cost of imposter syndrome can be serious. It can impact your business and cause a loss of clients or not getting them in the first place, missed opportunities, and ultimately a loss of revenue in your business. Not to mention that it can cause even physical and definitely emotional stress and damage your mental health. When you're suffering from imposter syndrome, there's a few signs to look out for. It can manifest itself in feeling anxious about going into a new client, anxiety over even taking a phone call or replying to comments and messages. It can cause you to over-prepare, over-rehearse, or procrastinate and put it all off until the last minute because you just don't feel like you can face it. We tend to procrastinate when we're scared of doing something that we feel is hard. Another big sign of imposter syndrome is downplaying your success. So especially if someone gives you a compliment, some praise, talks you up, you're like, oh no, I'm not that good, or it was a fluke. And even internally, just to yourself, if something goes right and things are going really well and you are successful at something, you have a big win or get that praise, get a really good review, you automatically tell yourself that was just a coincidence. It's a one-off. It wasn't me. It was just a really easy dog or a really easy client, or they already knew about what to do before I got there. They didn't really need me. I didn't help that much. Or it could be that you're telling yourself or other people, oh, I'm actually not that good of a dog trainer. They would have hired someone else if they were available. Things like that. If you have experienced any other signs of imposter syndromes that I haven't mentioned here, please let me know in the comments what that was like for you if you're willing to share. Okay, let's talk about strategies to combat the feeling of imposter syndrome when it does arise. Firstly, have a reality check. Really have a think and be mindful about the wins and successes that you have had and the ability that you do have and how far you've come, the people you've helped, the good testimonials you've received and the positive feedback. And remember, even if you have to remind yourself every day, you are the expert here. When you're going into a client and they're expecting you to be the expert, you're there to lead and you're there to teach them and you're there to help them, and you can do that and make a really positive impact to their lives with their dogs. Another thing that we can do is simply talk it out. whether you talk it out with a therapist, there's no shame in seeing a therapist. Highly recommend to talk to someone if you feel like you need to. But it can also help just to talk to people that are your friends or your spouse that can relate to you as well. So if you have any friends that are in the industry, even if they don't live near you, I have some great dog trainer friends, but none of them live close to me that I can see them in person. But I'll call them on the phone and I'll talk it out. I might say, hey, I'm feeling unsure about this case. I think this is what I would do. What do you think? And it might be that they say, yeah, I would do the same thing. You're right. You've got this. You know what to do. But sometimes you just need that little bit of validation, and it can help you realize that you actually do know your stuff. You were on track. Another thing you can do is continuously learn. So sometimes when we're feeling imposter syndrome, maybe there is room for improvement. I mean, we're all learning all of the time, right? We can't just wake up one day and say, I'm a dog trainer now and I know everything that there is to know about complex behaviors. So there is always more to learn. So keep learning, keep improving, keep honing your skills, and just realize that you're still good for where you're at. You're still valid as an expert right where you're at, and you can improve as well. No one starts out being perfect at something. Something else that's really important is to celebrate wins, no matter how small. So the little things. Dog makes a breakthrough, client says a compliment, client is just happy, they get the result that they wanted, a good review, or any other breakthrough that makes you feel like you've accomplished a tiny bit of progress. Finally, if you still need help with getting your mindset on track, you might be best off hiring a business coach like me. So you can always reach out and ask if I have any spots available for one-on-one work, or you can go to dogmunderspro.com and have a look at the resources available that can help you with that continuous learning, help you talk with like-minded people that are on the same journey or further ahead or further behind. But network with people in the groups that, like the masterclass that we have. If you want to grow your dog training business, come and join that community and get access to all of the materials as well. Or have a look through and browse all of the other resources that we have to help you grow your dog training business and turn it into something that you can really be proud of all the time, genuinely, without so much imposter syndrome. In conclusion, I want you to know that imposter syndrome is a hurdle to overcome, but it's not a stop sign. It doesn't mean that you have to pack up and quit. It doesn't mean you're a failure, and everyone experiences at every level, so it's completely normal. So brush it off and acknowledge that, be mindful, work at it, and apply the tips that we've covered in this video, and you will be okay. That's all I have for you today. Please leave a comment and let me know if you have experienced imposter syndrome and what it was like for you, and what did you do about it? I would really appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.